Good morning, everybody. We have a lower trade in the grain markets here early on Wednesday morning. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. July corn futures down 8 cents at 6.72. December corn is down 14 and a quarter at 5.95 and a quarter. July soybeans down 13 cents at 15.67. November soybeans down 16 and a half at 14.40 and a half. July Chicago wheat down 9 and 3/4 at 6.75 and a half. July Kansas City wheat down 10 and 3/4 at 6.21 and 3/4. July spring wheat down 21 and 3/4 cents at 7.49. If you're listening on the podcast, as always, appreciate it. Leave me a rating or a review if you have not already. Would really like to hear any feedback that you might have. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. That would really help me out in regard to YouTube. If you need some additional assistance from me, go to my website. It is www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan here in the upper right-hand corner. For $49 a month, I offer a subscription service. It includes my morning email, which goes out every business day at 6:30 a.m. Central Time. It includes my text message service. It includes my subscriber-only videos and content, which have become extremely popular. I blast these out just about every day. There's a video regarding some aspect of grain marketing or the markets or weather this time of year in particular. So a ton of information that I'm sending out here for $49 a month. Again, this is billed to your credit card. You can cancel at any time. There's no trading account required. There's no other fee. There's no other obligation. Certainly check this deal out. To get into some of the headlines this morning, I'd say that weather is still a big deal here. Heavy rains were noted across portions of North Dakota and northern South Dakota yesterday. That event in North Dakota was somewhat widespread for south central, southeastern areas of the state. There's a system that sits over the northeastern part of North Dakota this morning. Now, beyond that event, forecasts look really kind of warm and dry. The GFS model is drier this morning for the next 10 days. It had been a little bit wetter. The Euro model remains kind of dry. The Weather Prediction Center forecast sticking with kind of a drier tone for a lot of your western Corn Belt areas. Even some of the areas of the eastern Corn Belt a little bit drier in this morning's forecast. Above normal temperatures slated to stick around for another week or so, if not longer. It should be noted this morning that the GFS model is offering some additional rains in the extended forecast. If you're looking for a reason to be bearish or a reason why the markets are down this morning, maybe that's it. I'm not too sure. Wouldn't mind showing you a couple weather maps here. Here's what was observed over North Dakota and South Dakota over the last 72 hours. You can see like this area here, this blue and purple area. I mean, they caught 3 to 5 inches of rain, maybe up to 6 inches locally in some areas. There's still a lot of areas that are dry up there and have problems, but this is a big event. Here's your GFS model through June 19th. So this is the next 7 days, and it's backed off some of the rains. But again, that GFS deal, which is only one of the weather models that people follow, does offer a lot more rain in the extended forecast. Just keep in mind with the forecasts, guys, that the further you go, the less reliable they are, typically in my experience. Euro model even drier than that GFS here during the next 7 days. And then here's your Weather Prediction Center map, and they're kind of sticking with the dry theme here for the next 7 days at least. For Iowa, for southern Minnesota, the Dakotas, a little bit more rain expected. They've even backed off some of the rains for the eastern Corn Belt that had been expected as well. So in general here, I mean, we've still got kind of a threatening forecast. I suppose if that GFS model in the extended version of it comes to fruition, that could be kind of negative. Maybe the market's looking at that this morning with this lower trade, or maybe this is just a run-of-the-mill correction. Soybean crush in Argentina hit a 6-year high in April. Processors crushed 4.2 million metric tons. That's about 154 million bushels of soybeans. Increased farmer selling is the reason being given for the larger crush. Farmers taking advantage of high prices in Argentina. Argentina, of course, the world's largest exporter of soybean meal. They are also a large crusher. Customs officers in Argentina went on strike briefly yesterday, disrupting grain exports. They're not happy with the slow vaccination program. Same deal that we saw with the port workers there 2-3 weeks ago. The strike only lasted for a few hours, but you may see some additional strikes if some sort of deal is not made there. Again, these sort of labor issues are very much commonplace in Argentina. This happens several times per year, it feels like. We'll see some additional or another weekly ethanol report from EIA later this morning. Last Last week's print, 1.034 million barrels per day, was the best of the post-COVID era. U.S. ethanol producers are able to grind corn at a profit despite high corn prices, mainly due to a surge in ethanol prices. Ethanol peaked at its best level since 2014, back in early May. It's set back a little bit since, but still a very strong ethanol market here. Some people believe that USDA actually may need to increase their estimates for corn demand via ethanol if this strong grind continues. That report will be out at 9:30 a.m. Central Time this morning. USDA will release its June crop production and WASDE report tomorrow morning. I'll talk a little bit more about the numbers in tomorrow's update, but what I'll say is this here for the moment. This report is typically not a big market mover. The June 30th planted acreage and grain stocks report is typically the most or more important report this month. That doesn't mean that we can't see volatility tomorrow. Anytime USDA releases a fresh set of numbers, there's always the possibility of big volatility. I think the trade will be particularly interested in some of the demand numbers here for the U.S., and I think that Brazilian corn number is an area of contention as well. The cattle market finished higher in most of your feeder or fat cattle contracts, marginally lower in the feeder cattle yesterday. We'll see what develops today. Outside markets fairly quiet. The S&P is about flat. The Dow's down 60 points. Gold's down $3. The U.S. dollar is down just a few ticks. Crude oil's up 35 cents in the July WTI, 70.40, above $70 in the crude, and the bonds are up a little bit. Everybody have a wonderful day today. I will talk to you same time tomorrow.